On March 12th, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu appeared on camera. He claimed that Israel is crushing Iran, that Hezbollah is being destroyed, and that the operation is succeeding. The video was posted on his official channel. Within hours, it had been seen by millions of people. During those same hours, something unusual happened. A significant portion of those viewers, not just Iranian state media or pro-Iran accounts, but mainstream Western commentators, American political figures, and ordinary citizens with no particular stake in the conflict, began asking a question nobody had asked publicly about a sitting Western leader in recent memory. Was that real? Candace Owens, an American commentator with millions of followers, posted on X, "Where's Bibi? Why is his office releasing and deleting fake AI videos of him? And why is there mass panic at the White House?" The post spread, and people began a frame-by-frame analysis of the video, pointing to what appeared in one specific frame to be an extra finger on Netanyahu's right hand. The Israeli Prime Minister's office responded, stating, "This is fake news. The Prime Minister is fine." Fact-checkers at Snopes confirmed Netanyahu had appeared live at a press conference the previous day and had been photographed at a missile impact site in Beit Shemesh. Netanyahu is alive, and the video appears to be real. However, that is not the story. The story is that a video of a sitting head of government during an active war, a war that has been running for 2 weeks, involves the United States military and is disrupting 20% of the global oil supply. It generated enough genuine public doubt about its authenticity that major Western commentators felt compelled to ask whether it was AI generated. The story is what that doubt reveals about the information environment that Israel has deliberately constructed inside its own borders. Since February 28th, Israel has imposed a near-total media blackout on damage imagery from inside the country. This is not partial. It is near-total. International journalists cannot move freely to impact sites. Israeli media operates under military censorship guidelines that restrict what can be shown about missile damage. The IDF releases the information it chooses to release at the timing, and in the format it chooses. What gets out is what Israel allows out. Footage of what cluster munitions actually do to Israeli neighborhoods, real casualty figures, and the real scale of building damage do not get out because Israel has made a specific institutional decision that they should not. This is not unusual for a country at war, as every military in every conflict manages its information environment. What makes Israel's situation unique in this war is the specific combination of a near-total internal blackout with a very active external messaging operation. Official press conferences, statements, and Netanyahu's video addresses are maintained with precision and consistency. Simultaneously, inside Israel, a population that has received 65,000 emergency alerts in 12 days is living through a reality that is not being shown to the outside world. Into that gap between the official narrative and the undisclosed reality, the internet is filling the space with speculation. Some of that speculation is Iranian propaganda or deliberate disinformation, but some of it is the organic, inevitable result of a population watching its leaders give polished press conference statements while their own neighborhoods receive cluster munition bomblets that nobody can stop and that nobody outside is being shown. Netanyahu's son, Yair, is one of the most active social media users in Israeli political life, with over 280,000 followers on X. He typically posts 50 or 60 times a day on active news days, but he's been silent since March 9th. This is not just a reduction. He is silent. His father's office says the Prime Minister is fine, but nobody has explained why the Prime Minister's son, a man who used his platform aggressively throughout every previous crisis, has not posted a single item in 5 days while his country is at war. The Israeli government's plane was photographed landing in Berlin. Germany confirmed the plane landed and that the German Foreign Ministry had been asked if the aircraft could park there. A German spokesperson said only the flight crew and pilot were on board, not Netanyahu. The Israeli government's planes routinely leave Israeli airspace during conflict for safety reasons, which is documented and confirmed. None of this means Netanyahu is dead. He is not. None of this means the video was fake. It was not. What it means is something more important for understanding this war. The information blackout Israel imposed to protect itself from the psychological impact of showing its population suffering to the world has created conditions where every unusual signal becomes raw material for speculation. A skipped meeting, a sun's silence, a plane in Berlin, or a frame with what looks like an extra finger provides fodder for Iran's information operations to amplify into global noise. The blackout was supposed to control the narrative, and while it is doing so, the vacuum it created is being filled by something Israel cannot control at all. Here is what the information blackout is actually hiding. Not speculation or Iranian claims, but verified facts that Israel has chosen not to publicize and that have emerged only through official confirmation of specific numbers. 6,500 buildings have been damaged inside Israel. That figure comes from damage claims filed within the country, the official administrative record of structures affected by missile and drone strikes. 500 vehicles have been destroyed. These are not Iranian estimates. These are the numbers that Israeli insurance and civil defense systems have generated from inside the country's own reporting infrastructure. They are not widely publicized by the Israeli government, but have surfaced through data journalism and reporting on the claims system rather than through official Israeli military communications. Furthermore, the reality of cluster munitions is stark. By day 10, the Israeli military confirmed that approximately half of all Iranian ballistic missiles fired at Israel were cluster munitions, most carrying between 24 and 80 submunitions. A CNN analysis of 2 separate cluster attacks documented impacts spread across 7 and 8 miles respectively. The interception rate for those submunitions, once released, is 0%. Every cluster munition that gets through, and they are getting through because even intercepted missiles can release their payload before destruction, deposits dozens of live explosive devices across urban areas. Homefront Command has issued public guidance on identifying unexploded submunitions on the ground. Israeli citizens are being taught what a live bomblet looks like and told not to touch it. What does that do to a city? The immediate strike is survivable for most people because shelters work and early warning systems function, but it makes the ground dangerous after the all clear. When the sirens stop and people emerge from their shelters, they do so into streets, parks, and playgrounds where live explosive devices may be sitting. The psychological effect of not knowing whether the ground outside is safe after an attack is qualitatively different from any previous form of missile attack Israel has experienced, and it is not being shown. Recent overnight attacks were significant as Hezbollah opened its front more aggressively, coordinating with Iranian strikes to create simultaneous pressure from multiple directions. The combination of Iranian cluster munitions from the east and Hezbollah barrages from the north produces an environment that allows no recovery time. 65,000 alerts in 12 days, or approximately 5,100 per day, means that the gap between alerts during high-intensity periods is measured in minutes, not hours. This results in sleep deprivation at a population scale and commercial disruption at a national scale, reflecting the psychological toll of an emergency management system that never disengages. Israel's economy is absorbing this in ways that are not widely publicized. American technology companies with Israeli headquarters and R&D centers are now operating facilities inside cluster munition impact zones, where the alert system fires hundreds of times daily. Some have evacuated international staff, and others have reduced operations. The economic disruption of sustained missile pressure on Israel's technology sector is a second-order consequence of this war that has received almost no coverage. Iran knows this. Its cluster munition strategy was not designed to destroy hardened military targets, against which such weapons are essentially useless. Instead, they were designed to fill urban environments with small explosive devices, to create sustained disruption, degrade normal life, and produce a population-level demand for the war to end. The IRGC has explicitly stated its goal is to make Israeli citizens want to be somewhere else by making the cost of remaining feel higher than the cost of demanding the government stop the war. The information blackout prevents the outside world from seeing how far that campaign has progressed and prevents ordinary Israelis from knowing whether their neighbors are experiencing the same thing or worse. In such a tightly controlled environment, the only signal people have is what they see from their own windows or what manages to filter through the restrictions. The controversy over the 6-finger video is a symptom, not the disease. The disease is the gap between a government that says it is crushing Iran and a population receiving 65,000 alerts and finding live bomblets in their streets. That gap is what Netanyahu's press conference cannot close. The information war inside this conflict has 2 fronts. One is the obvious Iranian campaign involving fabricated videos and AI-generated content designed to destabilize Israeli confidence. This includes the Netanyahu death rumor and the 6-finger controversy. The other front is the structural information war Israel runs against its own population and the international media through restriction and censorship. Both information wars are succeeding and failing on their own terms. While Iran's disinformation creates noise, it is being fact-checked and debunked at scale. Meanwhile, Israel's blackout successfully prevents specific images from reaching the world, but creates the very vacuum that allows disinformation to operate. The absence of information is itself information, and in a war this globally watched, audiences interpret that absence as concealment. The reality is too large to be fully contained. The 6-finger video was just a symptom of a war where the truth is becoming too large to hide.